impressive numbers.
Yeah, they question his gameplay over there, saying he's just an objective player. At the EU Regional Finals, he proved that is not the case. The man, he plays with so much confidence as well. We saw him go for that round 11 Ninja Defuse. He is fearless, and he's got to play that way going up against Team Kaliber. Let's see him off the break. First thing, it's a grenade, lands at his opponent's feet. He gets into the hard point as it looks like it is going to be Mad Cat picking up the first kill. Swanee, Mad Cat, and Josh now all in the kill feed as we're on board with their fourth Tommy. And Tommy, really his job is just to sit back with this battle, make sure no one's going to be coming down the street on him, and of course, rotate over to the flank, and he's doing a perfect job of that so far.
Yeah, so the first thing that immediately comes to note for me is that Epsilon on this first hill, they're going to be running 3 ARs. You're going to have Mad Cat, Tommy, and Swanee all running ARs. Josh, the single SMG player on this middle hill, and you can get away with that. But I think as the game goes on, you're going to need to see at least one of those players switch.
Tommy tries to break in. 3 eyes all staring at him. I guess 6 eyes total. It's going to be Mad Cat, though. Jumping in, gets one, hurts the other. Black Jacket is going to save that player twice. And it looks like Mad Cat is just going to be happy to back up, wait for his teammates, and then go at it again. Everyone trying to push to the middle. Mad Cat juking them out. They thought he rotated. Instead, he takes out Goonjar and Sharp. Meanwhile, Tommy in the hill is doing the damage on the other side. And
it's an interesting point to note that Mad Cat has a lot of history with these TK players. He was actually a stand-in for TK for an event last year during Ghost, so he had a lot of practice time with them, knows their play style, so that's something to kind of keep your eye on through the rest of that series.
Do you have a favorite player in Call of Duty?
Not really, no.
Because my favorite European player, by far, is Mad Cat.
Really?
Oh yeah, his post-game celebrations, his in-game trash talk, the man is fearless.
It's like the Ocho Cinco.
He's so funny.
European Call of Duty.
If there's a touchdown dance in the game, he does it every time after they win. We'll see him get the squad fired up. He's going to be that hype man in the booth. You got 2 calm and collected dudes in Tommy and Swanee, but when Mad Cat gets going, the youngster Josh really feeds off that energy.
I love seeing players like that, players like Mad Cat, Killa, and even Theory. You wouldn't think of Theory as a fiery type of guy, but Theory's very fiery competitor. I love watching those guys. When they get animated in the booth, it's just awesome to watch.
Well, I'll tell you who's not fiery right now. Goonjar is ice cold, opening up 1-9. There's only his 2nd kill after 2 minutes and 20 seconds. This is a guy you always used to look at Team Kaliber and just identify as their top slayer, their most talented, the fastest reactions on the squad. I don't know if that's necessarily the case anymore, and we never know what we're going to get out of Goonjar. Is he going to drop the huge numbers, or is he just going to be a non-factor today? He's really got to step up his game if he wants to hang into this.
When you added Looney to the team, he instantly became the vocal point of the slaying department. I mean, Looney definitely, since coming over from Rise, has really transformed into TK's main slayer. I think also, with Theory playing extremely well lately, there's only so many kills on the map that somebody's going to be that odd man out. And if Sharp's going to be running that AR, it's a huge adjustment for Goon. You're going to see this rotation, though, for that next hill. It's going to be Goon up on top of Maps. Going to have to get that big kill, but Mad Cat able to take him out. And that's a gunfight that Goon's got to win. He has first shot with an AR coming down the street. Mad Cat just with those accurate shots with the ASM-1 able to take him out. Let's see, if Epsilon's able to break it. 3 kills come in from Epsilon. They're flooding in. They're going to be able to take out Theory. They should be able to hold this hard point.
And I like this. Goon has put the ASM-1 away. He's bringing out the bow, going back to his AR roots. The shot's starting to connect now. He's going to tag up Josh. Josh, though, continuing to push forward. There's the teamwork. And finally, you're going to see 3 go down from TK. It's all up to Theory now. If he dies, TK will not be able to hold on to this hill. They're going to have to break from B Street. And nice job from Epsilon, trying to swarm from all angles. Josh goes down. Big one-on-one, but it's the Mad Cat who wins that battle.
Yeah, Mad Cat's just going to try and hold off these last 10 seconds. Tommy, he's going to flood the hill as well. Swanee, he's going to be able to control this. Only 1 player. Looks like they're going to try and push from TK. It was actually Goon, so Goon's going to retreat back down that A Street. Going to try and lock down this last hard point, but this is a very close game, Bucket. I think what you're really going to look for in this second half of Hills is you're really going to see if Tommy can pick it up a little bit more, and then same with Mad Cat. You're going to need Mad Cat to get that explosive gameplay we've seen from him in the past. You're really going to need to see him break open a hill with a 2-piece, get his team fired up if Epsilon is going to try and come back. And then on the TK side, if Goon starts to pick it up, they should walk away with this map easy.
It's kind of crazy to look at the kills and just compare it to the scoreboard. Right now, Team Kaliber is in the lead, but they're getting outslayed. You got Mad Cat, who's +6. Josh now negative, Tommy -1 as well, but you had Swanee and Josh all positive at one point. and Tommy's basically been even this whole time. So really, it's been TK who is winning this game based on their rotation and getting those clutch kills in transition. Epsilon, they got to get it together. You got Josh hopping on all hard points. He's leading all players with 8 captures so far, but I'd like to see more out of Swanee and Tommy when it comes to the objective.
I think Swanee, you're okay with him being out of the hill. Swanee on a 6 streak right now. I think Tommy, I would actually probably, going into this second rotation of hills, I would throw that Val on Madcap for the rest of this game. He seems to be shooting pretty hot with that, and I would tell Tommy, start running that submachine gun, let him be that OBJ player with Josh. I think those two in combination can really control that, hard points and control those hills. I think that would make it a lot easier, and then you get those explosive 2 pieces at distance from Mad Cat, and then you start to see this Epsilon team firing on all cylinders.
It's so rare that we see huge chunks of time gained on this middle hard point, but here it is Epsilon locking it down. You talked about those assault rifles, how important they are at range. Well, Epsilon doing a phenomenal job of using them, and this is something we've seen at the EU Finals. 3 ARs for 90%, if not 100% of the game, with Josh the only one rocking the ASM-1.
And I will say, Josh positive at this point in the game with 10 captures to his name. I don't know if people understand how hard that is to do, and pretty much they've been running 3 ARs the entire game when you don't have another SMG putting pressure in the hill, and you're really that first point of entry, and you're still going positive and have those 10 caps to your name. That's very impressive. That's so difficult to do.
I think the way to think of it is, obviously, hard points are always going to be contested. If he has 10 captures, most likely he has 10 intro kills just like that before he's able to jump on the hard point.
Exactly, and he doesn't really have another player. I mean, Mad Cat's been alternating back and forth between the SMG and AR in this matchup, but we've seen him primarily use the AR. I think, though, Josh doing a fine job getting those intro kills and then really holding on to that hard point. You have those AR players from Epsilon to back him up, but TK, game's starting to get a little bit away from them. You're gonna need maybe a secondary AR. I would like to see Goonjar still use it. I don't know if he's using it right now, if he can go on with Goon through the next respawn. It looks like Goon has stuck with it, so I like to see that. Right now, Sharp shooting hot. You're gonna need to get Goon going, though.
Yeah, I'm really not gonna leave Sharp. He's the captain of the team. He's the backbone of TK. He's had his off events, but really when they perform, it is Sharp leading the charge, and he's doing exactly that for his squad. 26 and 26. Doesn't need to really outslay when he's being involved in the interaction. So we'll see if he can stay this active. Currently on board with the Epsilon crew. Once again, though, our Sentinel squad, Swanee, holding down to the garage, and he is getting such phenomenal support. I've been watching the mini-map, and really the key player finally got taken down. It was Mad Cat walking down that entire
I was going to mention, quietly, I said Mad Cat needed to come alive, and he has really turned things up. Went all the way up to 32 kills right now.
Plus
on
11.
pace to probably drop that 40. Yeah, plus 11. Looking pretty good. Swanee in the same boat. Plus 10 for Swanee. Just phenomenal slaying out of these Epsilon guys. This is really what you expected them the entire tournament. You came into this, at least I came into this after your European Championship, and I was like, there's no reason that this Epsilon team can't hang with the best teams in the world. They have, 3 very talented Slayers, a smart in-game leader with Tommy. They have everything you need to be successful. SB, with that first, I wouldn't say it's really, it's kind of an upset, I would say. For them to win that one, this makes this match so much bigger. Didn't expect it to be that big. I honestly expected Epsilon to probably beat SB. And this is going to be for a first place spot. I think a lot of people
win this pool.
Yeah, and I think this just makes this match even that more important.
Coming into the tournament, you, Ben, and I all sat down and we created our top 8 list of who we think are the top 8 strongest teams, regardless of what happens in the bracket coming in. I had Epsilon at number 4. I think I had the highest out of any of us casters, but I was just so impressed with the way they performed at the EU Regional Finals. They are playing like that same team we saw just a few weeks ago over in London.
Yeah, and they're controlling this top hard point right now. It's actually going to be broken by TK. It's going to be Sharp and Goonjar in that hill. You see the players from Epsilon trying to flood from map side, trying to get it back. You're not going to be able to do that, especially when Goon is locking down with the AR. Looney's going to pull one at as well for this top hill. Going to this final rotation, though, Puckett, it's going to be very difficult for TK to make that comeback. This is a hill, this last hard point, where you're really going to just split a lot of the times, and it looks like Epsilon, they're going to have those favorable spawns.
Anything could happen. It is about a 40-point game, and we're coming down to the last 42 seconds. Epsilon with an opportunity to close it out right here. They just need one strong push, and it looks like they got it. Mad Cat with the 2-piece Swanee in the kill feed. Tommy there now as well. Everyone slaying at the front. Swanee going to hit 41 and 26, 43 kills already from Mad Cat, and when you got 2 players dropping 40 bombs, that spells trouble for any opponent. here at the Call of Duty Championship.
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, when you have Matt Cack playing the way he is and Swanee as well, they're going to be very difficult to beat on Respawn. And going into this S&D, you know, Epsilon, a very good S&D team. I believe at one point they won 36 consecutive rounds. Going at the EU Championship. So definitely looking for them going into their strongest game mode. I mean, this could be a very dangerous spot for TK. They could find themselves down 2-0 quickly.
Did you see what happened in that booth? Swanee, the first man standing up, getting the team hyped. I'm scared for Team Kaliber right now. When you got the chillest player in the group